Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do something a little weird. I don't even know where to start, so I guess I'll just jump right into the story. You already know it's gonna happen by the title of this, but basically Nick killed a deer back in 2017, and instead of boiling the skull, he chose to bury it, to have it degrade naturally, decompose naturally, and I'm going to dig it up today and see how far we've come within a year of this skull being buried. And then I wanted to compare it to some of the other skulls that I have also buried and have cleaned through boiling. So we're gonna dig into all of that. Let's go uncover this skull. So it's under this thing. As you can see, it has snowed. I'm assuming this log has just been placed here for some weight to make sure that it doesn't blow off of the antlers, but let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. Wow. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Sorry if this is a little graphic. All right, well, let's pull it out. Let's see. Wow. It's actually not, wow. That's actually pretty good. So I know this thing doesn't look super appealing to the eye right now, but I'm actually pretty impressed. There's still some hair on like the forehead region of the skull, but it is surprisingly pretty freaking clean. Let's compare this to my skull, which I boiled this year. Okay, so now for a little comparison. This is the buck that I killed this year, so the 2018 season. About 2 days after I killed it, I boiled the skull. So if you look up close inside those cavities, it's not perfectly clean, especially when you look back here. So like all of that, let's see if I can get that to focus. So the brown that you see on this skull is actually meat, really, that I need to still pressure wash off or pull off. And inside that sinus cavity, which unfortunately I don't think you're gonna be able to see, there's still just some like lingering gunk that I don't see in this one. And again, I know this is super dirty. Maybe I should try and wash it off, although I don't have a pressure washer with me right now. But I'm gonna get the hose going and wash this guy off a little bit to see if I can wash some of that dirt off and lighten up the color a little bit so we can get a better idea of how well the bugs ate this thing up. All right, so there you have it. Boiled skull, buried skull. This guy has been hosed off, and you can see that that brown stain did not come off. So that guy will need bleached for sure. But in terms of its cleanliness, you can see all of that in all of the detail in that nasal cavity was maintained. Overall, a really clean job. Compared to this guy, you can kind of see some of the crud in there. Overall, I feel like burying it in the dirt was not a bad way of cleaning it out. It will definitely need a little extra love in TLC, so I don't know really how much time you're saving compared to just boiling it. So I don't mind the color of a skull that's just boiled without any bleaching, but this buried skull, you might want to end up bleaching because of that stain. I don't know. I might have to update you guys down the road to let you know how it was finally cleaned up. But overall, if you are not looking to spend a lot of time cleaning a deer skull, it's not a bad option. I've even seen folks who will have like chicken wire cages that they just throw their deer heads in, and they don't even bury them. They just keep them in the cages to keep critters off of the antlers, and they let nature take its course to decompose the rest. I killed an antelope a couple years ago, and instead of boiling the skull, I threw the whole thing on an anthill, or kind of buried it in an anthill, and I left it there for maybe a month. And the results were actually very similar, minus that sort of dark, muddy stain on it. Another option would be just to cap it, meaning take a saw and just cut, you know, the cap right where the antlers attach to the skull. Nick and I both killed mule deers a couple years ago, and we actually left them on the front porch of our apartment. We were in Idaho at this time, and the neighbor's dog made its way onto our front porch and ate like the nose off of the skull, and both of those deer were skinned. My antelope head was not skinned when I threw it in the anthill, but anyway, so instead of spending our time boiling a half-eaten skull, we just capped it. And that was over the winter time too, so I wasn't worried about it spoiling, getting all stinky. I mean, we had a lot of snow during that time frame, so we could kind of get away with leaving heads outside. It just turned out that the dog wanted them, so he ate them. So I hope you found this video interesting. If you've never buried a deer skull before, or any kind of skull before, hope it shines some light on what that process might look like. Let me know how you prefer to clean your skulls, if you take them to a taxidermist, if you used beetles, which I've heard great things about. Personally, I've not used beetles yet. Sorry, my nose is like really running right now from the cold. If you boil your skulls, etc. So let me know in the comments below. I probably have boogers all over my face now. I am going to play with this little puppy right now. She has been patiently chewing on my jacket's zipper, waiting for me to finish filming, so... So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.